Hello everyone and welcome to another episode of Kickstarter in the current year. Now, we're in the time period where Kickstarter is supposed to slow down. You know, it's around Thanksgiving and then you got Christmas and people got a lot of other stuff going on. And that's normally the case. However, apparently that wasn't the case this week, where instead Kickstarter had this huge flood of botted projects, which basically took a bunch of information from previously successful projects on Kickstarter, mashed them all together into this unholy abomination and spat them out onto the website. And you know, that happens with an insane amount of projects. But I had no idea that was happening because, if I'm being completely honest, I spent this entire week basically just playing Branard, and I had no idea what was going on at any point. But apparently, as I'm recording this, that's mostly over. A couple of straggler projects here and there, but most of them are just dealt with. Instead, today we'll be looking at two projects related to cars and driving. Once again, I got to thank Lobster Mashing on Keyboard for pointing these projects out to me. And I've taken the liberty of, as I'm uploading this video, to give him a special role on the Discord as the Kickstarter librarian. If you want to join a conversation about Kickstarter and all these wonderful projects, feel free to join the Discord server, link in the description. But the reason I'm going to be looking at two of these projects is that while neither of these projects personally appealed to me, neither of them really seemed very enticing. One of them is a very well put together and humorous project with a product that has a purpose, and although there are similar products on the market, this one is distinctly different, and it sort of recognizes those differences while also recognizing how it's similar to what already exists out there. And the other project is god-awful and does none of that. As such, we'll be beginning with the not-so-great project, which is Branard Anti ADB. System Frenante Auxiliaro Anti-Collision Draining Brackets. Now, luckily for us, even though the entire project actually is in whatever this language is, this foreignese, luckily for us, the pitch video isn't. However, there are some other issues with the pitch video that we're going to notice quite immediately.
Let's start from a fundamental principle. There is currently no other system in the world, patent 2023, capable of slowing down / stopping a vehicle when the wheels with all the technological systems now associated are no longer capable of doing so.
Why would you record your pitch video like this? This seems like some kind of creepy found footage shit. This seems like I'm watching it, and then it's going to show the Slender Man, and I'm going to die within 2 weeks. Who does this? Why is the camera so shaky? Why do you have all these like schematics and detailed things, but you don't fully show any of them? You just pan the camera, which is the grainiest fucking camera in the world. I would know something about shitty grainy cameras myself, and you pan them all over the gaff, and just have this narration voice, which is of course AI generated robot voice. But I understand that in this situation, I know why it's there. It's there because the person making the video is not an English speaker. They've translated the entire thing, which is, by the way, the entire thing they're going to be saying in this pitch video is just the section of like their story section translated into English.
The idea came out like a spark when I risked causing an accident while taking a bend on the wet asphalt. I was with my son. It had rained recently. I wasn't going fast, but had barely touched the brake pedal.
I love the throwaway line of "I was with my son." It's like that was supposed to invoke some kind of emotional response where we're like, oh my god, there was an accident with a child involved. Except it doesn't really quite work when you only throw in a single line like that. And when it's read to us by a robot, well, we have like the world's shakiest camera pan around.
Yeah, the car did a spin on itself, seeming to go crazy. Upon my return home, I said, is it possible that no one has ever thought of an anchoring system in the ground like sleds have in the snow?
I love how they've demonstrated the accidents happening with these toy cars. That really illustrates the point so very well. And you couldn't even get a fucking tripod or anything, or just hold the camera still when recording these cars either. Oh, it's so wonderful. I'm going to give a little bit of a pro tip for anyone out there who wants to make a Kickstarter project of any kind, or in fact any kind of project, or you're an ideas person, you have created an idea in your head. Please never, for the love of fucking God, utter the phrase, "Why hasn't anyone thought of this yet?" Because the reality is, someone has pretty much guaranteed thought of this yet, and either they, just like you, don't have the funding and resources to put this idea into reality, and that's why it doesn't exist. Or if you actually looked any of this up on Google and did the tiniest bit of surface level research into the topic, you're going to realize that, oh shit, wait, someone has already thought of this before. I'm just doing it all over again. Yeah, this project is for a patent for an idea which already exists. This is the same shit that was happening with the hummingbird all those years ago, where they clearly have the know-how to create this thing. They have the ideas, they have the skill and the engineering ability to design this stuff and to put a patent out, but somehow they lack the most basic ability to use Google and figure out that the thing that they're making has already been made before, and it's not actually that unique. I was sitting around one day, eating cereal as I do, dry, grabbing it with my hands, until suddenly I realized that it was a bit too dry. I took it into my mouth and thought, what if I added a liquid to this? I didn't have many other liquids, so I grabbed some milk. My son was there. I poured the milk into my cereal, and I ate it. How come no one has ever before thought of putting milk in their cereal? That's how you sound. I'm sorry, that's just how you fucking sound when you make a project like this. And, you know, the rest of the project I'm not really going to be looking at, because again, it's all just the same stuff translated. The video is just the same stuff in the story translated into English, and also I just can't be bothered. Instead, I'm going to be looking at the much more entertaining project and the much better made project and the better product, if you ask me, although I will say later on why I don't think it's a great product anyway. This is a successful project. It actually succeeded just last week, but you know, I didn't cover it back then, but I feel like it's worth covering. It's the Carpool 2.0, a portable toilet for men.
Are you a male between the ages of 3 and 97? Have you ever had to take a leak? Do you have to take a leak right now? Do you have to take a leak so bad that you develop the onset of flu-like symptoms? Your bladder feels like a water balloon connected to a fire hose. What are you going to do?
Fortunately, we have the solution. The Carpool 2.0, the world's most portable toilet for men, with a threaded head, forming a watertight seal with your empty beverage bottle. This ensures that no liquids will leak out while you're taking a leak, making it the most advanced portable peeing device on the planet.
The most advanced portable peeing device on the planet. I don't know if there's much competition there. I'm pretty sure prior to this, the main competition was just like a bottle that you tape the funnel over. I mean, that would still function very similarly. I can't really imagine there's much else you can do. Maybe an actual like portable little toilet, like those things that toddlers train on. Maybe one of those would be a little bit more advanced, but I get what they're saying.
Depending on your size, a regular water bottle might be sufficient, but for others, it's just not gonna cut it.
I understand what they're insinuating, but as a proud Christian mother, I would not personally appreciate seeing an advertisement such as this on any website, and I would like to warn you that I am going to be taking legal action.
Fortunately, the Carpool has an extra large mouth, accommodating all sizes, for a comfortable, luxurious fit.
Now, here's where I take a little bit of an issue with their claims of taking on any size, because I did my research. The largest ever circumference for a penis belongs to one Roberto Esquivel Cabrera, a 56-year-old Mexican citizen known as El Centauro, right? And while his penis is 48 centimeters long, it is also 25 centimeters in circumference. Now, if you look at the specifications provided by the creators of the Carpool 2.0, the diameter of the mouth is 1.75 inches. Translating this amount to centimeters, we get 4.445 centimeters in diameter. Now, if you do the calculations to go from that diameter to the circumference, you will find that the circumference of the mouth is then roughly 14 centimeters, meaning that it's only about half the size required to take in the size of El Centauro, meaning that if you have the biggest penis on the planet, you will not be able to use the Carpool 2.0. Sorry to say, this is false advertising.
The carpool can be used in a variety of different places. An elevator. An escalator. Or on the subway.
I get that this part is a joke, but I feel like I'm kind of obligated to say, don't do that. In fact, don't actually do it pretty much anywhere outside of the car, and even if you're in a car, I feel like this only makes sense to do if you're in the passenger seat. Because if you're in the passenger seat and the driver's like, listen, we're not going to be stopping the car, just take the Carpool 2.0 and take a leak in that makes complete sense to me. However, if you're the driver, you're not going to be using this fucking thing and pissing while driving anyway. So, like, in most scenarios, I feel like you could just get out of your car and take a leak. Maybe if you're in a situation where you're in like a traffic jam, that's another one where it makes sense. Traffic jams and being the passenger seat of someone's car who is kind of like a dick. In those two scenarios, I feel like, yes, the Carpool 2.0 has its uses, but I feel like those are the only times when they do have a use. This was a successful project, and it's not a terrible project. Like I said, I personally wouldn't really buy it, but you know, it's not the worst one. It's well put together. It's funny. It's witty. It's got a lot of jokes about dicks and piss in it. And you know what? I'm a fan of that. If you want to make a project about like cars and related to vehicles, and you got to make a choice between making it sort of like this or like the other project, I think the choice is obvious, and yeah, that's pretty much it. That's going to be doing it for this video. I'll be seeing you in the next one. Hopefully I can figure out another interesting theme that I can be looking into, because yeah, the amount of projects that come out during this period in time is a bit lower, but there's still some wonderful little jewels in there that we will be looking at, absolutely. So I'll be seeing you in the Thunderdome. To not end on such a horrible note, I'm going to now be reading the AI-generated names on the coffee cups in the first project, because of course the header image was AI-generated, and it's wonderful as usual. Try our new Cocolatl Corral. It's got insert Vartis. How about some Camel Cabecel? Ooh, or some Chulet Cads. Cochine